With summer coming soon, I thought we'd look at some different spots to mount your GoPro camera onto your kayak. So in no particular order, here are 5 different places to place your GoPro camera on your kayak to get some really interesting shots. First, there's the chest mount. This is one of my favorite mounts for kayaking. It may not be traditional, but it allows you to provide the viewer with this kind of view of the paddle and what's going on, and it's a really immersive view. It makes the viewer feel like they're there paddling along with you, and it doesn't get the same kind of motion and vibration that you would get from a head mount. Of course, another option to get shots like this is the head strap mount. Now, I am personally a much larger fan of a mouth mount and use them whenever possible. So instead of using a GoPro head strap, in this case, I'm using the Pro Standard grill mount, which is my go-to mouth mount whenever I want to get shots like this. Compared to the chest mount, this shot has a lot more movement in it. It's a lot more dynamic. Every time you move your head, you capture that on the camera, something that isn't true of the chest mount. So they're 2 very different types of shots despite giving you the same angle. I think for ocean kayaking, I would go with the chest mount, but if maybe you were running rivers or running rapids, whitewater kayaking, then I think the head strap or the mouth mount is going to give you a shot that fits the sport that's going on a little bit better, because you are going to pick up on kind of the action that's going on and the higher paced frequency of that sport. Moving away from on body mounts to on kayak mounts, we're going to look at 2 options. The first is the suction cup mount. Now, the suction cup mount is a really good option as it allows you to very quickly and super easily reposition the camera, allowing you to get a ton of different angles. A couple of other ones that I didn't capture here but would have been super cool would have been to put the camera up near the bow to get the bow cutting through the waves, and you can really start to play with different angles when you're using the suction cup mount. Now, there's a big caveat here, and that's to before you go out shooting, make sure that your suction cup works on the kayak you've got. For ocean kayaks, this isn't really a problem because most of them are a gel-coated finished fiberglass, and onto these, the suction cup mount works perfectly. But if you've got a plastic molded kayak, I think a lot of whitewater kayaks are like this as well. They've got a texture finish to the plastic shell, and this makes the suction cup mount not stick particularly well. If you do get it to stick, often the suction leaks out and the mount will fail after a couple of minutes. So if you are using the suction cup mount on your kayak, make sure you test it, and if it's your first time using it, make sure you tie it on, because you do not want to lose your camera. And even if you're using a floaty back door, it will not float a GoPro camera and the suction cup mount. Another way to mount your camera to your kayak is using the vented helmet strap mount and passing the ends of it through the eyes that hold the bungees on to most kayaks. This is a more secure way to mount your camera and will work on even those molded plastic kayaks, but the problem here and the drawbacks from this is that it takes much longer to get set up and mount. Another thing to always remember with most of these mounts is that if you turn the camera around, you're able to capture where you're going, or you can flip it back around to get that selfie shot. And the final mount we're going to look at is the paddle mount. So this is a very different looking mount, and really it's mostly only useful if you want to make your viewers feel seasick, because it creates and captures a lot of motion in the shot, but it does allow you to super easily set up a very long extension pole. So if you want to capture things like selfie shots with you and a group, or if you even want to just hold the kayak paddle out in front of your kayak as you're going through the water, it will allow you to capture some neat perspective shots of where you're going. So used correctly, the paddle mount does give you a lot of options, but if you just try to film you paddling, you are going to make your viewers feel quite seasick. A mount which is missing from this list and that I haven't played around with too much and that is much more intense to set up is the third person view shot, where you mount a fishing pole mount or some other type of PVC pipe or rigid tubing onto the back of your kayak to get a third person shot looking forwards over to the kayak. Whitewater paddlers use this a ton, and it is a super neat looking view. It is a mount that I would like to explore more in the future, and hopefully I will have a DIY video coming up on how to set one up. Unfortunately, it's missing from this video, so if you want to see that, go check out a couple other videos I've got linked below where other guys have made some super awesome DIY projects making third-person kayak mounts. Those are linked down below. You should go check them out because they are awesome and they do create a very, very unique perspective. If you're into whitewater rafting or whitewater kayaking, that is probably a perspective that you should be capturing. Guys, if you like this video, get subscribed and check out my channel for lots more videos. Down in the comments below, let me know which sports you're planning to capture this summer with your action camera. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching.